we have an opportunity as Black people, okay?
Right now is the best time in the world because God is giving us permission now to take back this earth, but you have to take it by force, by wisdom. All right. Right now, you're seeing the boycott of many businesses, many big establishments, Walmart, Target, Asian businesses. It's a big thing, right? And people are actually starting to support because they see that this is a life and death matter. So I'll say all that to say, open those businesses that you've been pondering about, all right?
I really want you guys to watch this video.
You don't go into a Black neighborhood without seeing Asian businesses or restaurants or liquor store owners, and vice versa. You don't go into Asian neighborhoods without seeing Black customers and Black clients that keep our businesses alive. And
you don't go into the Black community without seeing Asian businesses and restaurant and liquor store owners. But you don't go into the Asian community without seeing Black customers and clients. Do you see the problem there? In just 15 seconds, not only did she show the problem between the Black and Asian community, but she shows the problem of the Black community and our continuous allowance of us to let other people come in and economically exploit us, and for other people to see and benefit from our economic viability. Everyone but us benefit. Not only is economic exploitation horrible enough, it gets worse than that. They come into our communities and they're very anti-Black, and they treat our people disrespectfully, and oftentimes it has led to them taking Black lives. This happened in 1991. This happened in 2023. This is a 30-year period and the exact same things are happening. Something is immensely wrong as to why we have still allowed this to continue. The fact that we know how horribly we are treated by these business owners and their communities in our own community, and yet we have still somehow allowed them to be economically benefiting from us, is insanity. And the craziest part of it all is that none of these communities, whether it's Asian, Arabic, or even Palestinian, yes, are bringing in businesses that can benefit us, or that are necessary, are vital to our well-being. You don't need Chinese food to survive. So there's no point of us supporting them. We don't need our nails done to survive. We don't need liquor stores and drugs and horrible food that they're selling us. So the fact that they're able to still have economic viability in our communities is insane. They aren't bringing in hospitals to our communities. They're not bringing in grocery stores to our communities. There is no advantage of Black people allowing Asian businesses, Arabic, Palestinian businesses in our community. Not even bringing in businesses that are selling products and goods that we could go and resell later that have some type of resale value. So it just is so preposterous that this is continuing to happen. And just if you thought it couldn't get any more silly, in 2020, they came out with Stop Asian Hate. Suggests that Black people were committing crimes against Asians. But if we're the ones who hated them, how are they allowed to open up businesses in our communities, and yet we aren't allowed to open businesses in their communities? Black people are the ones who helped them get that crime bill passed. We need help.
Now, I think this is why many people believe Black people have finally cracked the code. You see, for many years ago, the conversation was always about how much money people spend, how much they spend on buying something, how much they spend to get a certain service. But now, the conversation is becoming about where that money goes after, it leaves somebody's pockets. That's a completely different mindset. You see, more people are talking about ownership, creating products, opening businesses, supporting Black creators, and, building wealth that stays within the Black community. You see, when a community begins investing in itself, people notice. And trust me, success leaves clues. The more businesses that succeed, the more confidence other people like within the community gain to start their own. Because, you are motivated that your Black neighbor can do this. You can also think of doing something else because, it's possible. And that's how economies grow. Now, this is not just about spending money anymore. It's about building a future through ownership, through cooperation, and long-term investment. So yeah, brothers and sisters, let's dive into this. What exactly are black people doing in order to make this boycott, this transfer of black dollar back into the community to be successful, to be effective, and eventually become permanent and become culture, to be part of people, just to have that. So anyway, let's dive into this. If this is your first time, please subscribe so we can have more of these discussions. Otherwise, I'll see you later for more discussion.
Now I gotta come out here to the carpet about some shit now. All this stuff going on about China, honey, this always been going on. China people, the UJs, the Mexicans, and everybody else all come together for their people. We are always so separate. We talk about black money and black wealth, and as a collective, honey, we got lots of money. We just don't spend it within our community. What's lacking between us is not the money. It's connection. We need connection. We need our own marketplaces. We need to come together. Even if you just vending, come together as vendors every Saturday, every Sunday, every Wednesday. Set up little markets somewhere so we can find you. Get your stuff together with the internet so we can find you and locate you and start buying from you. This is the problem. It's not so much them. Them other people doing what they've been programmed to do. The issue is us. We need to be deprogrammed from the program. They say this is simulation. So we have the power to switch up the codes and stop falling for these people using AI with black faces to sell products. See, if you don't use the technology, you won't recognize when it's being used against you. This is why I say this technology ain't going nowhere. We need to use it to our advantage. We need to stop complaining about this shit. All this money we have as a collective. You know what the problem is? I'm going to talk to some of you hustlers and you ballers and all the rest of y'all who stack it. I don't know why y'all can't come together and go find an abandoned building in your community and create a manufacturing company. The problem that we have, we don't manufacture nothing. We can go buy some stuff and sell some stuff, but we're not creating it from scratch. Now, these jewelry, some of the things I have, yes, I had to go to different manufacturers in Asia to find them. Do I want to do that? Absolutely not. But we could take these same templates, open up a manufacturing company and start distributing and building them ourselves to black-owned businesses. We're not thinking globally. We can start trading with other countries that look like us and getting their raw materials, bringing them in here and setting up manufacturing companies and start distributing them amongst ourselves. Our problem isn't money. Our problem is connectivity. Woo, that was some good ass tea. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to try some of Mama T's wellness blends today, link in bio.
Okay, this here is your daily reminder. One, that we are staying out of Target. Yes, that's what I said. Stay out of Target, stay out of Walmart. I understand there are such things are called food deserts and things of that nature, and those are the only stores in the area. I understand that. If you got to go in there, please only get essentials. And when you do, try to find the black-owned brands that's in there, because there are some they're in there, okay? That's number one. Number two, we have an opportunity as black people, okay, for stores that possibly can be closing down because we are putting our dollars back into our own pockets as we should have been doing from the get-go. Team up with people that want to be entrepreneurs, who want to be store owners and buy these stores or open up another store to replace the store that's no longer in the community. We should be owning the stores, the businesses, everything that's in our communities, point blank, period. Okay. So unite your funds and try to get these stores open or bought out. Replace what is being possibly leaving and taken out and things of that nature. Okay. Please understand we're not going to make it within that individual mindset that I want to shine over somebody else. We can all shine together. Get out of that individualistic mindset, okay? Get up out of it. We can all make it. It's enough for us all to make a living. Stop trying to be over somebody. That's the problem with this country in the first place, okay? That's another thing. Also, support your fellow content creators that are Black. Again, a lot of us use this as a secondary source of income. Follow them. It costs you absolutely nothing to follow, to like, to share, to watch their videos. It costs you nothing. So please do it. Everybody should be monetized. Push it out. Share it out. Support it. Okay? That's just your daily reminder. Okay? And I'll put my socials down below so you can follow me on mine. Yay!
Calling all my Black business owners. Let's have a chat. I am interested in starting a Black business network. So, creating a space on this platform for Black businesses to be able to promote, receive support, and to be promoted. If you are a Black business owner, whether that is a service, a restaurant, your TikTok shop, whatever it is, and you are interested in creating a space and being a part of a space where you have the opportunity to promote your business and to be promoted, let me know in the comments. I am thinking of starting something next week, starting this space next week for us to truly rally behind each other. So if you're interested in promoting a Black business, let me know in the comments. Let's see if we can build this community and help each other.
2 years ago, I went back home to Detroit. I bought a vacant building. I talked to different people that lived in the community and asked them what they wanted to see in their neighborhood. After that, I spent 2 years creating a business plan that I thought would be good enough to impress my business partner, who was my 17-year-old daughter. That birthed the creation of Annalicia's Beauty Bar. It's named after her. It's going to be a luxury, upscale, salon suite concept. It's not in the suburbs because we're not from the suburbs. It's in the heart of Detroit, right on the west side. You see, Detroit, we're not about to wait on the government or any major corporation to come into our communities and invest. We got this. We're going to do it ourselves. Because the most important thing is upgrading the community aesthetic, keeping our Black dollar circulating in our neighborhoods, and providing an example of ownership and entrepreneurship for our youth. So I'm asking y'all to lock in with me. Follow me on this journey, like and share this post, and remember, when it comes to rebuilding our community, the worst action that we can take is no action at all. Be blessed.
The number one business category for Black and African American owned companies isn't barbershops, it's not music, it's not fashion, it's not restaurants, none of those. It's healthcare and social assistance, and no other category comes even close. Let me break it down for you. So if you look at all businesses in America, about 3% of all businesses are Black and African American owned. And you compare that to, say, white Americans who own about 84% of the businesses, Asians who own maybe 10 to 11% of the businesses, and Hispanics who own maybe 8 to 9% of the businesses. It is small by comparison, but we're still talking about a group that generates, in terms of revenue, about $200 billion a year. But here's a powerful theme. The reason why the focus and the concentration on Black businesses in healthcare and social assistance is so important is because America is aging, right? America is getting older by the day. And that powerful economic theme is literally where Black businesses play. That's where we're concentrated. And so in order to take advantage of these opportunities, a couple of things have to happen. Number one, we have to move from a place where the owners and operators are sole proprietors, meaning they only generate revenue when they're in the building, when they're doing the services and doing the work. Number two, we have to think about how we scale these businesses. Having one elder.
If you rock with us, follow us, and sign up for Go Shop Black.
So I'm officially in my I make jewelry for Black people era. And the reason why I said that is because I've started recently getting inboxes of white people saying I was going to buy your jewelry until I realized your content doesn't really seem to be fitting towards white people. You don't seem like you like white people, so you don't really need my service. And the thing about it is that I never really was going within my mind saying I'm going to create jewelry for the world. Honestly, when I do things, I'm thinking about people that look like me. I'm thinking about us. I'm not thinking about them. So that's not an insult. But what is not going to continue to happen is that you just, like, I'm going to put a name on that. Star Brown Styles only makes copper jewelry for black people. And I don't give a fuck if you use the word only. I don't care if you don't make a sale, baby. I'm not even here for you. I ain't come to see you, Otis, at all. Do it look like I make jewelry for y'all? Look at my jewelry and look at me. Do it look like this is for white people? Come on.
One thing that I've been thinking about a lot since the viral video of the Asian man pretty much double dog daring us to try to boycott Asian businesses. I mean, saying with his chest that we own everything that you need is not the audacity or the confidence that it took for him to say that on social media, because it wasn't like a news flash. It wasn't breaking news. He didn't say anything that any of us have never said. We've known that for decades there has been a strategic effort to infiltrate Black neighborhoods and fill needs with businesses. That's what businesses should do in a capitalist society. I see nothing wrong with noticing a gap and filling it, especially when you're looking at that neighborhood and saying, this community is not going to fill the gap. So instead of our flabbers being gasted and instead of being like outraged, I'm like, wow, what a challenge, right? What a challenge to say, you know what? I could do this. I could collectively decide that my dollars are going to remain in my community, and I'm going to understand the difference between a neighborhood and a community. I live in a beautiful neighborhood, almost brand new neighborhood, manicured lawns, right? All of my neighbors are successful, but this isn't a community. I've never been in my neighbor's home, and my neighbors have never been in mine. I don't know what they do. They don't know what I do. In a community, you know your neighbors. You know who has what resource. You know who you can help and who helps you. You know names, you know people. And that's what I'm wanting to build with my barter communities. Not just people that live together, live next to each other, or even have the same skin color, but people who want to work together to circulate our dollars, to make our money last longer, and to become a real community. Because it's time to need each other again.
Welcome back. Now, after watching this video, I think let's talk about it. You see, I noted that there is something so inspiring happening right now. I mean, I have to appreciate the unity, the confidence, and the determination that, more Black people are showing to one another today. I mean, imagine people believing your Black community could never move forward, could never achieve anything, could never progress, could never be independent without depending on, somebody else's products. Like in this case, thinking Black people could never go forward without depending on Asian businesses, like Asian products. But now, these Asians are watching Black people create their own brands, open their own businesses, and, support one another. How shocking must that be for anyone who expected you to fail? It proves that belief, cooperation, and ownership can truly change the direction of, of a community, of, a Black community. Now, let's look at the messages, the key messages that Black people are trying to share in this video. Don't worry, you can also share what you think is worth discussing as the message you may have. Remember, comments are also part of the conversation. Now, the first message I keep hearing throughout this video is ownership over dependency. You see, for years, for decades, many conversations focused on spending money, okay? Just, spending the money. But now the focus is changing. It's no longer about spending money. People are asking where that money goes after it leaves the community, after it leaves, the pockets of Black people. And that's an important question. Because imagine every dollar, suppose someone else's business, somebody else's dream, and somebody else's future. But now, if we can ask ourselves, whose future is this black dollar building? Whose destination, whose success, whose wealth is this black dollar benefiting? So that's why there's this kind of shift. And the message is simple. Instead of always building somebody else's, success, like building the success of, Asian communities, more people want to build businesses they can pass on for future generations. We're talking of the future generations of, black people. Now, the second message is, working together instead of competing with each other. Now, in the video, I think there are several speakers that keep repeating exactly the same idea. Stop trying to outshine one another. Stop trying to, to try to make somebody who is your fellow black person try to outwin. By doing that, you give a chance to the enemy. You give a chance to, outsiders. Okay? Because, that's almost everywhere how it works. People will benefit whenever there are people who are not united. Okay, so people are encouraging to work together, to bring together the resources, pool resources, share opportunities, promote each other's business. I mean, a community becomes stronger when people celebrate each other's success instead of seeing it as a competition. For example, you see a black business somewhere, and as somebody, maybe you have experience of business, that business, based on how that person is running, that business may collapse anytime soon. You know that for sure. Instead of just sitting down and waiting for that one to fail, so that at tomorrow you be the only one with a business, instead of doing that, you go and encourage them. You go and try to tell them, to teach them, oh, brother, you're making this mistake. You can't run a business this way. It can't, be permanent. So that's the thing, not as competition. One successive business can inspire 10 more, and those 10 more can inspire hundreds more. Those hundreds more can inspire thousands, up to million businesses. Now, the third message is creating products instead of only buying products. This part really stood out to me. You see, the discussion is no longer just about opening another store. It's about creating brands, manufacturing products, building something that belongs to the community. Establishing some stores that can offer, services that black people use to visit Asians to get them. So they have to get the service from black community. Because when you create, instead of only consume, you have more control over your future. Because if you depend for other people to create for you, that's why black people have been complaining that these Asians are going to their restaurants. If you go to the kitchens where they prepare, you see that there's poor hygiene. They don't mind. Okay, why? They don't care who is going to eat. Okay, they don't care who is going to eat. All they want is that they want the money. They don't care the health of those people who are eating. But if you're also creating that food, if you're also creating the value chain, you can control the future. And that shift from consumer to producer is one of the biggest changes mentioned throughout this conversation in order to sustain this movement. Now, the fourth message is investing back into the community. Of course, whether it's buying vacant, buildings, opening salons, supporting black-owned brands, or encouraging people to shop with local entrepreneurs, the goal remains exactly the same, which is keep communities growing where people live. That's all. It's just that simple. When businesses, succeed locally, within the black community, they can create more jobs within that community, improve neighborhoods, and become examples that encourage young people within that same neighborhood, to believe ownership is possible, to believe, progress is possible, to believe that I think black people can own, the whole Walmart, it cannot have that same name. They can own Amazon. It can have a different name, but I hope you get the idea. Now, the final message is changing the mindset. Now, every major change begins with the very people, the way, people think. This video keeps encouraging people to believe that ownership is something you can achieve, right? It's achievable. Supporting one another matters, and that long-term success requires patience, consistency, and unity. And a different mindset leads to a different directions. A different decision can produce different outcomes over time. So when I look at this entire conversation, I see one central theme. People are talking about building instead of waiting, creating instead of complaining, and investing instead of depending on Asians, depending on outside communities. So whether every idea these people are trying to say succeeds or is not, but the bigger message is encouraging entrepreneurship, cooperation, and long-term thinking as a community. You see, communities become stronger when people believe they can create opportunities for themselves and for the next generation. There is no way you can wait for other generations to build a brighter future for your generation. There is no way these Asians will build a future for black people. Remember, black people have always been arguing that these Asians always they buy from fellow Asians. They support fellow Asians. Why? They just want to extract money from black community. They don't want to invest back. So if black people cannot invest the black dollar back into themselves, who else can do it? Nobody. And honestly, that's the conversation capturing so much attention today. So anyway, without further ado, I think let me know what exactly is your thought. If this is your first time, please don't forget to subscribe, to like if you found some value in this video. Otherwise, please can you share this video. We have to be discussing these things again and again. Otherwise, I love that you came. Don't forget to share your views. What exactly is the 60th message in this video? Anyway, see you next time, and I'm proud of you.